Last night it was super windy and raining. I didn't get a lot of sleep at all. I was waking up every 30 minutes or so because the wind would go through my tent and it would lift it up and all the stakes would come out of the ground, like crawling onto my tent. And putting the tent back together, I'm a mess right now. The plan was we knew it was gonna rain, so we're gonna pretty much like keep below in our tents until afternoon. But I wake up this morning and my tent, just because it came apart so many times, it was full of puddles of water. And I heard Logan get up and I come out and he's already got his tent apart. So he was already on his way, which was surprising. Whew. And then Romer and Pitt were still over there. When Romer woke up, he was saying like, I'll just go to the next gap and get a shuttle into Roan, Tennessee. So we're gonna try to get some cell service to call them and see if they'll pick us up. But yeah, right now I feel horrible. Just because like I have like almost like chest pains from like lack of sleep from so many days and everything. I'm just, oh yeah, this is another hard day on trail. Super dehydrated too. Trying to get that water at the tent site we were just at, it was ridiculous. Like when I got last night, it's like, you had to go way down a hill and couldn't even find the path back up. But yeah, so Pitt and Logan are going to Over Mountain Shelter. I think it's a big barn. It's a really cool shelter. And Romer and I are trying to head to town. So we got some cell service, called the shuttle driver for 19E at Roan Mountain, Tennessee. We're getting picked up at Carver's. Right now we're at the top of the hill, and right here I think is where the hotel site is. I'm not sure, I heard there's a plaque somewhere, I'm not sure where it is, but yeah, they apparently used to come up here in the 1800s, and there's a hotel here. Yeah, we made it to Carter's Gap. Oh, Pitt's here.
And he's run soccer camps and he's...
I spent last night at the station at 14E in Roan Mountain, Tennessee. Got shuttled back to the Gap this morning. Gonna have a lot better views today as opposed to yesterday, which was just complete fog. You couldn't see anything. So gonna be able to enjoy the views today. Yesterday, when I got to the hostel, I ate some stuff, laundry, shower, all that. Place down below the hostel is a bar too, so I have craft beers. And I was like one of the two last people that were hikers leave the bar yesterday. So saw a few people I haven't seen in a while, like Timber. Yeah, gonna do about 14.8 or something today. Back to the hostel at Roan Mountain. Right here you can see that we are above the cloud line, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty dense clouds and we're above it, and yeah, I got some great views today. I see a red barn. Just went to the upstairs section of the barn and this is what it looks like. Not open down here, but down below, right here, there's some platforms to sleep on, and you get a view, like, let's see. You get a view of that. Here's the bottom floor. Then this is the part I was talking about right here. Have two platforms on the outside, one of the fire rings, and the view. Down there is the barn I was just at. almost at the top of Little Hump Mountain, and then after that I have Hump Mountain, and then it's all downhill back to Roan. Really excited to see the views from the top of the Balds. And there is Hump Mountain, so I'm gonna be going down a little bit more. I could see someone like, I don't even know, like right here walking. I probably know who that is, but can't tell who it is because they're so far away. But yeah, at the top of that mountain, it's a little over a mile to the top of that hill. That's how far away it is and how high it is. It really is crazy to be able to see the whole path of what I'm about to do. You don't really ever get that all on this trail. Like this is the most clear-cut path that you see. Like, oh, I'm going up that. This is a very cool part of the trail. Everything I've done today has just been really, really interesting.
I also like to discourage people and say, you know, you're probably... That's unopened. If you have a way for the dog to eat it.
Oh, I got something. I got something he likes.
So it's like literally carrying a pound for no reason.
I believe it personally, but
I think it's real.
it makes sense with. Yeah, I'm kind of simple. I just like my hands away.
And we just hit the 400-mile mark. We're going backwards, so we did a little more than already. He's probably gonna put it in portrait mode.
No.
No.
Shorty shorts.
Whose crotch you did?
Our bodies are pretty drained. We've gone like, I don't even know, I think more than 7 days in a row without a zero. And today, the owner of the station shuttled us from the station back to where we started yesterday. Yesterday was the first like sort of hot day on trail. Humidity was up there. Today the humidity's up there again. That's why I'm breathing pretty hard right now, even though it's not too hilly. I just gotta explain the station. So the bunk situation is pretty uncomfortable. It's really crammed, but the innkeeper Eddie's really nice, so he takes care of you up there. And then the bar is down below the station. That's open to locals too, so you get a mixture of locals and hikers. Yeah, Romer and I were there the first night and saw a bunch of people that we've been hiking with since like almost the beginning. So it's cool to see them again. And a lot of them have been slack packing, so like they were already ahead of us by the next day. But yeah, I had a great night and played some pool and everything. Yesterday, or 2 days ago I should say, it was more so the townspeople were there and they had a live band playing. Another good night. And yesterday I took it a bit more chill, just because I know how I feel a little sluggish. So I just had one drink and Romer, Pitt, Logan and I played pool. Yeah, 3 days, 3 really great nights at the station. And the two bartenders, like the bartenders are what make it for me. Bill and Crazy Wolf. They are, you'll get some entertainment if you see them. They're funny guys and really, really nice. And if you like craft beer, they know their beer. I was just thinking about some funny moments that have happened recently. One was yesterday. We went to Bob's Dairyland in Roan, and they were definitely understaffed is what we're thinking. I mean, as far as the food quality goes and how long it took, it was forever, and the food I don't think turned out as good as it's supposed to be. But the one funny story was I was asking while ordering my burger if they do made to order, and the guy didn't know what I meant. So I was like, do you do like medium rare? Can you cook it like that? And he says, no, we don't do that. We actually tend to overcook our burgers. And he said it really seriously. Pretty big guy comes up behind him and it's like, yep, and just walks away. It was another worker. So it was really, really funny. The other funny moment was when we were at Ash Gap. That was the night of the huge storm. So pretty windy out. We're all sort of huddled in this one space sitting on logs eating dinner. I was facing the opposite direction of the log and I wanted to face everyone else. So I had my food in my hand, my pot of food, and I go to sort of just swivel over. So I just put my feet over on the other side really quick. I realized my butt is no longer on the log. It's like hanging off the log, and that I'm unbalanced and about to go backwards. So I'm pretty low to the ground. I'm like, I don't know, not even a foot off the ground. And I instantly start to fall backwards like, whoa. I wanted to make sure my food didn't go all over. So that was the first thing I was trying to save. Like I could have saved myself from falling, but then my food would have fallen. So what I do instead is I just sort of like fall flat on my back and my feet go straight up in the air, which is like absolutely ridiculous. My food got saved. It was over my head. I was holding it like this, and Pitt and Logan were there. Logan's just like, oh my god, shook his head. Pitt's cracking up, and Pitt's like, well, your food stayed perfectly level the whole time. Like, that was hilarious how it like didn't even come close to spilling. So yeah, that was fun. I got covered in leaves because that area was pretty just full of plants and leaves. Got a little messy there. Yeah, I actually want to explain the other night what happened. What happened was I was in my tent at nighttime and it was like already starting to storm. Then these huge gusts of wind started. Romer thinks it could have been like 60-mile-an-hour winds. Ridiculously strong winds. They started. And that's when my tent, which is not freestanding, started to have some mishaps happen. The flaps of my tent started to break loose. So they would, and I have a Dyneema tent, so they would just start flapping out of nowhere. And it was so loud. It was ridiculously loud. They'd be like flapping all over. I had to get on my tent multiple times, try to tie them up. And then I eventually ended up tying it to a log, which had to even stay. The winds were so strong, it was ridiculous. And the rain started, and that's when my tent started to get bad because the winds got stronger. My tent would fill up with the wind that was coming through, sort of like lift off the ground, like I was about to take off, and the stakes would come out of the ground, and my tent, these trekking poles, which are what holds up my tent, they would just collapse and fall on me. So over and over again, in the middle of the night, the poles would just fall over, hit me. The rain would come in. By I don't know, within 2 hours, it was ridiculous. It was like everything was just so loose that the tent just, I don't know, it wasn't keeping water out properly. So when I woke up in the morning, I had several large puddles of water and several large puddles of water, and they were like an inch deep, and all my stuff was soaking wet. My sleeping pad was dripping and everything, and that's why we got off at Carver Gap the next day. Gonna take a quick water break right here. Pitch right there, get in the water. Okay, bye. I just went from a rocky place like this down below to the area where the water was, and now I'm back in an area like this. As I was coming down all these rocky steps, a lot of them, a few gusts of wind came in and it started raining again. So it's rained twice today, but there's a waterfall. Yeah, I don't mind the rain because it also dropped the temperature down a bit and the humidity. It's just coming down all these rocky steps. It makes it a lot slipperier. Today was a fast day, which is good because we're trying to get into town. Hampton we're going up to? I think it's Hampton, Tennessee we're going up to. So it'd be great to get there early and be able to resupply. But yeah, this is holding me up a bit. I should also mention that yesterday when we were slack packing, I didn't realize it was yesterday. I forgot that we finished all of North Carolina. So 2 states down, Georgia's done, North Carolina's done. Now we're on to Tennessee. This part of the trail sort of amazes me because I can see white blazes going right around this part right here. Went through a really slippery section of rock around that thing, sliding a lot. This trail today is like, I think what a lot of people picture the Appalachians being, just like great views and pretty flat all day. Like, this is good to have one day where it's just, I mean, it was hard climbing up the hill in the beginning, but it's good to have one day where you can just really enjoy the nature and not just be trying to endure all the hills and everything. And this is what happens on days where it rains. I'm walking on flat and I just slid. I'm following a blue base trail now in Hampton. So I split off from the Appalachian and then you just walk into town this way. Trying to resupply before everything closes down. And I ate at the restaurant and then I went to Dollar General. They of course didn't have what I wanted, so trying to rush back to the grocery store before they close, but I don't think I'm gonna make it. I am not staying at the castle where Logan and Pitt are. I'm gonna be staying at the Boots Off Hostel, which is on the other side of the huge hill we have to climb tomorrow. They're gonna be picking me up, and I obviously did not make it in time, so it's like 5 minutes past closing time that I got here. Yeah, the shuttle driver's gonna pick me up here, so at least I don't have to walk back down, but yeah, that was a waste. Really should have just stayed at Dollar General to help rest my feet, because right now my feet are sort of like getting that numb tingling sensation. It's like the first day they're really doing that. That's not good.